Howdy folks, I'm Friendly Freesha, furiously freeing 5 feverish finches.
I'm Amber.
And here are more feverish finches for us to free. We're releasing them from the hospital so they can escape the doctors. Let's get started.
That wasn't what I had in mind, but okay.
The mad scientists, at least. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Leaving My Boyfriend in a Different State? Hey Reddit, I'm a 26-year-old female and need some perspective on a recent situation involving my boyfriend, a 30-year-old male, during a trip to Florida. Throughout the trip, he kept comparing me to other women. Let's be honest, women in Miami often look like they've just stepped off of the magazine cover. Now, I don't wear a lot of makeup, and I'm comfortable with my natural look. I believe in embracing my authenticity and loving myself as I am. However, my boyfriend seemed infatuated with these women who looked like models. He couldn't stop mentioning how much better I would look if I put a little more effort, like this girl right here or that girl over there, which made me feel inadequate and insecure. Hearing your boyfriend of 3 years say that you would be more attractive if you did this or looked like her doesn't make a woman feel good at all. The tipping point came when we were at a restaurant and he started telling me how much better I would look if I wore some makeup and maybe showed a bit more skin. I decided to switch up the scenario and I told him that if I was expected to look better, then he needs to lose some weight and maybe work on getting ahead of his hereditary male pattern baldness, a courtesy of his father. After this, he had a loud outburst, essentially berating me for not looking as attractive as the women around us. I was crushed. Here I was trying to enjoy a vacation with someone that I cared about, only to be publicly humiliated for not fitting some superficial standard of beauty. Feeling hurt and disrespected, I utterly was fed up, and I made a decision to cancel his flight back, and I flew back to California alone. I refuse to be with someone who values superficial appearances over genuine connection and respect. Now his family is pressuring me to pay for his accommodations and flight back home because he has no money. They seem to think that I owe him something for his outburst, but I can't shake the feeling that I made the right decision for my own well-being. Am I the jerk for leaving him behind to figure out this on his own? Edit, I forgot to mention that I paid for our tickets and our hotel room because he couldn't afford it, but wanted to travel, hence why he also couldn't get home. Alright folks, what do you think of this situation?
I mean, it's a little tricky, but I'm gonna go with not the jerk. I mean, he has family who can bail him out, it sounds like. So I don't generally agree with like stranding someone once you say you're gonna pay for their stuff. Like, even if they're kind of a jerk, it's not good if they're completely stranded. But it sounds like he's got people who can retrieve him. They're just trying to bully OP for the money. What he did is completely unacceptable. You don't treat your partner that way. And that goes back to you also don't bite the hand that feeds you. Like, you want a free vacation and you're going to trash the person who's giving you it.
Yeah, I can understand why OP did what they did out of, like, anger. I mean, it sounds like the relationship is probably over at this point in time, and OP was just kind of putting a punctuation mark onto that. Yeah, and certainly I think abandoning someone is not a great thing to do, but I can understand why OP went ahead and did something like this. They were probably very angry and frustrated in the moment, and I mean, that's just sometimes how it goes, right? I mean, I guess sometimes people will take the low road.
Well, it sounds like it was nonstop digs about her
Yeah.
appearance, and that's going to be hurtful to her self-esteem. It's going to
Mhm.
sour any, joy she had out of the trip at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like he put all this money into this trip and he just ruined everything.
Oh, yeah.
And so I 100% understand why she would not want to fund him any further.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I certainly understand it. I think that this guy, he certainly messed around and he found out. Let's put it this way. There hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. That's just it. It's like this guy, he was made some very foolish decisions, right? He decided to sit there and berate his girlfriend, who was paid for this trip, who's given him accommodations, who probably planned this trip that he wanted to take, only for him to sit there and criticize her the entire time. Sometimes if you walk into a bear trap and it's outright visible and on the ground and you just decide to test it to see if it's working, you kind of made a bad decision, right? Like, everyone told you not to step in the bear trap that just happened to be in the middle of the room, but you just couldn't help yourself and you stepped in the bear trap.
Yeah, well, and then the audacity too, when she points out that he's also not the most conventionally attractive person
Yeah,
ever,
yeah.
and then he turns around and just starts berating her in front of everyone.
Yeah. So do I think he deserves being left abandoned in the middle of Florida? No, but I honestly think that he kind of deserves it too.
Like he has family. They can
Yeah.
probably like get him home.
As long as he can get home. I mean, maybe this will be a little bit of a tough knock for him and being like, well, maybe in the future I should keep my mouth shut if I have criticisms to say until I'm safely back at home, right? I don't know. It just seems extraordinarily like a bad decision to make on so many levels to do something like this. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck.
Episode's title. He had it coming.
Yeah. And Nunya9 says, you're the jerk. I can understand not wanting to fly back with such a jerk, but abandoning him is a bit rough. I would be more likely to change his flight to a new one on a later date, inconvenient, with as many layovers as possible, giving time to change the locks and getting his stuff out. And OP replies, that's fair. I appreciate your honest opinion. That's kind of what I was also thinking, is like giving him like the most miserable flight possible back. The only thing worse than no internet is slow internet, and the only thing worse than a flight is a bad flight, is a flight with a lot of layovers. And Tactical Failure 1 says, everyone's in the wrong here. Him for the comments and you for canceling his tickets. Also, you may want to consider getting a lawyer because I'm highly suspecting that what you did was illegal and probably is some variation of a crime, such as identity fraud. If at any point you had to confirm that you were the individual on the ticket, your boyfriend can absolutely ruin your life and may have civil case against you. And OP replies, I paid for our tickets, so I called to cancel his and fly back. So it doesn't sound like OP lied about who they were or anything like that. They just said, I'm canceling this flight. And Fit Region 5236 says, hence the phrase, never bite the hand that feeds you. And OP replies, edit for some backstory. He has made comments similar to these in the past, but it was phrased in a way that was nicer. For example, he would say, a shorter dress with heels would make your legs look so long and beautiful. He also followed a lot of models and social media influencers online, which didn't bother me because they're beautiful women that just want to share their beauty with the world, and that doesn't make me insecure. He started to watch more adult entertainment and pay for OnlyFans, but that didn't bother me as well. I know that people have needs that can be satisfied by things like this. I didn't have an issue with any of this, but I think that he was trying to change my appearance to match the woman that he watches online. I just didn't put that together until this event took place. That's unfortunately sad for OP. And Food says, maybe a Model-S girl in Miami with lots of makeup on can pay for his hotel and flight back. Also, tell him good luck. Lol, not the jerk. And the Hound Abide says, none of the Miami girls are going anywhere near him if he's broke. Lol. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, am I a jerk for leaving my ex to sit and take care of his child and taking a business class upgrade for myself? I'm a 30-year-old female, and I've been dating Matt, a 33-year-old male, for about a year. Matt has a kid, Alex, from his first relationship. The kid is under 2 years old. Every now and then, I used to look after Alex when Matt was at work. We don't live together, but they stay at mine every now and again. We decided to go on holiday for 10 days at the start of May. And, due to some family drama, Alex had to go with us. The flights were over 8 hours long, and I have booked the tickets for all of us. During the flight and holiday, I have spent nearly all the time, and it was spent looking after Alex while Matt had the time of his life. Some things came to my attention. He was still seeing his ex, which resulted in us breaking up at the end of our stay. On the flight back, we were all sitting together, and a flight attendant approached us and asked my ex if he wanted to upgrade to business class. Before he could say anything, I have mentioned that it was me who bought the tickets and used my own account to pay for them, so an upgrade should go to me. The flight attendant was trying to argue at first, as she assumed Alex was my child, but I told her that was not the case, and ended up having an upgrade, so I can relax after spending all that time looking after Alex. After the flight, Matt and a few other passengers who assumed that I was the mom, as well as some family members and friends, called me a jerk for not giving the upgrade to Matt. Even after I've mentioned the flight attendant didn't say anything about Alex being allowed to join Matt. Alright folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. It's really gross that they would even do that and approach you and be like, "Oh, well, clearly the dude is not the important parent." That is just such sexist logic right there. So that was very uncool of the flight attendant in the first place to
Yeah,
try
yeah.
and give the ticket to him. But then all the shaming and whatnot, like this isn't even your kid, you know. And even if he was, like, if you were both the parents, there's no reason why dad should have a break over mom. That's just gross.
Yeah, I think that this is one of those kind of sexist situations where OP was assumed to be the default parent. Why did the flight attendant approach them like this in the first place is kind of baffling to me, because it seems like really if you're going to try to upgrade a family, you should upgrade all of the family and not
Mm-hmm.
just one individual. So I really feel like they should have found somebody else to upgrade as opposed to like trying to split up a family or a perceived family at the
Mm-hmm.
time, right? And if they were all booked under OP's name, then why didn't the flight attendant ask for OP specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that seems very peculiar to me. Like she should have had first dibs, and it
Mm-hmm.
seems that the flight attendant should have gained some clarification before making some assumptions. You know what they say about assumptions. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And this first commenter says, not the jerk. OP, that's terrible. Paying for your flight, in a breakup, taking care of a child on your vacation. You by no means are the jerk here. The audacity of the ex is unbelievable. It just makes me so mad that I can't even imagine your frustration. Honestly, I would say move on, but you seem to already be doing that, so I got nothing else to say. And, oh, by the way, the real jerk here is the ex. And Advanced77 says, agreed, the whole situation sounds like a nightmare. Having to deal with a breakup, pay for a flight, and take care of a child during your own vacation. The audacity is unreal. OP deserves so much better. And M Random Reddit account says, wait, why would it be okay for the father to ditch their child to be upgraded to business and not okay for the mother to do the same? Even if this isn't the case, but the other passengers seem to think so? This is some sexist nonsense. Not the jerk and dump him. He doesn't seem to appreciate you at all. I mean, I think she's already dumped him.
Mm-hmm.
And Percentage Unhappy 117 says, sadly, this is the world that we live in. Mom has to sacrifice everything for the kids while dad can have fun. I've seen it firsthand with my husband. Alright, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Making My Boyfriend Leave a Party Because He Got a Tattoo of Me? A couple of days ago, friends and family threw me a surprise party after reaching a big milestone in my life. Everyone close to me was there, even my boyfriend. Halfway through the night, he pulled me aside and said that he wanted to show me something. He rolled up his sleeve and revealed a tattoo of my eyes on his arm. Everyone around us was amazed and impressed by this romantic surprise. I felt uncomfortable despite his good intentions. I don't hate tattoos. However, our relationship is still new at 3 months, and a permanent gesture caught me off guard. When I expressed my distaste for the tattoo, tension between us rose, and I eventually yelled at him to leave the party in front of all the guests. He left, and communication between us has been limited to a few texts since. He's saying that because it's his body, he can do whatever he wants, and that I shouldn't have embarrassed him like that. He didn't tell me beforehand because he wanted to leave it a surprise. Most of the friends and family are saying that I was being unfair, and I should have just appreciated that he got a tattoo of me. So Reddit, am I the jerk? Edit, the tattoo itself is very detailed, and it has my eyebrows, the scar that I have near my eye, and also a mole that I have, so it's very distinctly me. Around the eyes is a border, and on the bottom side, it has my name integrated into it. It's very small, but present. Alright, folks, what do you think?
No, I mean, I understand why OP would be creeped out after only 3 months of this. Like, generally, if you're gonna get a tattoo of someone who's still alive, it should probably be communicated to them in some way, shape, or form beforehand. I understand it's his body, he can do as he pleases, but I also understand being creeped out by your boyfriend of 3 months being like, look, I've got your eyes on my arm.
Well, I mean, I think it's more than just kind of a general, like, creepiness, right? I mean, it's basically him being like, oh, this is we're in it for the long term, right? This is the relationship, right? And because generally, like a big overture like this is, a permanent marking like this is a big deal, right? So I think after 3 months and showing them something like this might have made them feel a lot of discomfort because they aren't ready potentially for a long-term relationship with this individual. Maybe they're
Mm-hmm.
still getting used to this person, and they might feel pressured into agreeing to something more serious than what they currently have,
Well, then it
right?
projects to the friends and families that it's more serious
Yeah,
too than
yeah.
what OP's feeling.
So to me, this, and then the open gesture in front of everyone, right? Like what you said, this might give everyone kind of the wrong impression that maybe this is more serious of a relationship than what OP may be letting on, right? So I can understand OP's discomfort with that, right? This is just it's a lot for somebody to take in all at once, right? Maybe if this was like a year, or they were engaged, or any number of things, right? Where this might be, having a surprise like this might be a little bit more like palatable, but I think it's just the short timeline really probably made her uncomfortable because of like what it symbolizes, right?
Certainly, although I do think as a general rule of thumb, it's best, unless you're 100% sure your partner would love you getting a surprise tattoo of them, it's best to consult just to see how they feel about it before you get this inked on your body.
Yeah, honestly, I do feel like it's a good idea to talk to that person. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Fell 8. And Fell 8 me says, oh my goodness. You don't get it until you say it out loud. You really just don't. You really do not. And Fell 8 me says, yes, you're a jerk. What exactly are you upset about? That is one of the biggest compliments that someone can pay you. Oh my goodness, this person thinks that I'm so wonderful that they got a tattoo of my likeness on them. I'm so offended. And OP replies, at the beginning of a relationship, we agreed to take things slow. That is the opposite of that. That's kind of what I was expecting here, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is just such a grand gesture.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber has an airplane themed joke.
Well, I mean, maybe vaguely. Where do ducks go on their vacation?
Where do ducks? Ducks go on vacation on not airplanes, and so they kind of take a flight somewhere. I mean, ducks go wherever they want. Every day is a vacation for a duck. I don't know what you're talking about.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I suppose so. I suppose so. Not Florida. Not Florida. And I have Earl Grey. That didn't try to drown me today. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Special Sunday, folks. And you know what makes it special? You do, and Amber does too.
And Brian, too.
And terrible boyfriends who say terrible things. That's what makes it special.
No.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on comparing your partner to other people.
If it's not flattering, don't.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.